This energy of this younger woman is like almost insistent in the way this is coming through. There's an acknowledgement. I'm seeing a symbol of putting lipstick on a mirror, this is strange. It's a message in lipstick is the way this comes through, and it's a symbol, but it's coming through to kind of help convey this individual's personality. But I'm referencing to literally lipstick on a mirror.
You know, there's no way that he would have known that. Kind of blew me away that he knew.
I don't know what this is, but I'm seeing an image basically of like a big hat. And I need to highlight like this big old, like it's almost like a silly, how do we put this? It's a hat that we would wear almost like, this seems like in a special event, but they're very ornate in the way this comes across. It seems to have some form of a significance in a sentimental way. There is a sentimental significance on the month of May that I need to bring up. There's also a reference to Kentucky that I need to bring up as well, strangely. But I'm having to joke with you about Kentucky for some reason. I don't know, it's a state. I'm not sure why it's coming through in a funny way, but there's an acknowledgement of Kentucky, and then I'm seeing that.
Well, you've kind of hit a few different things. It's, one was lipstick on a mirror, which is something that I used to always do. We used to write messages back and forth.
Right.
And I met my daughter's mother in the month of May.
Right.
In Kentucky.
Nice.
With a crazy hat on, like you mentioned, at the Kentucky Derby.
Ah, that's the thing.
In all honesty, I was really trying to throw Tyler off because I didn't really want to bring up Anna Nicole, and I didn't want to talk about it at first, and I wanted to see if he actually went there, but he was getting so much talk about Anna Nicole, not knowing it was her, and it was hard for me to even keep up. But it was so spot on in so many ways, and like the lipstick on the mirror, you know, some of the things that he talked about, no one really would know.
But I feel like I have to highlight a reference that's popping into a older woman that's connecting to your mother that I need to bring forward that would have kind of taken on more than one role. But the feeling is almost like, basically like being motherly to a lot of people. And she is like insistently coming through, but I definitely feel like I have to highlight this woman. I have to joke about teaching the piano. There's a reference to teaching the piano.
Okay.
But I have to acknowledge the sentimental value of a piano being passed down, of like, where did the piano go? But I need to bring a piano. So that, they sometimes will refer to memories, but it's coming through from your grandmother and your grandfather's side, on your mom's side. It would be the piano connection.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
There is an organ. It's not a piano, but they're same thing. And so that's a family heirloom that could apply to that for sure.
Nice. Okay. And that would be for sure on mom's side. Okay, cool. And that's my way of making more of a direct connection to one person.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm connecting to your grandmother. What was her name?
So her name is Barbara. Barbara Ann.
She's actually having me talk about the past 5 years for you. I needed to mention this. A reference to an awareness of career, and I have to talk about this.
Okay.
And I immediately get a feeling of pride, but at the same time, there's also this acknowledgement of either a tribute or some form of a sentimental, performance-oriented thing.
Okay.
But she feels like she's in on this in the way this comes across.
That's cool. So there's a song called This Town, and it's on the last record that I made. So I kind of wanted, in the beginning of the song, to kind of evoke this front porch feel. A gritty, just a moment, a story, just to kind of like lead into the song. And I was going through my voice notes one day, because I just record things all the time, and I came across this story that I had completely forgotten about. One night sitting at my parents' house, and it was me and my mom and dad and my sister and Meemaw. So she was telling us these stories, and I thought, I need to record this. So I hit record and just secretly recorded it by my side. And so she's like right there in the album, like telling this hilarious, weird redneck story that, just kind of like lives on in the music. So that's pretty cool.
Wow, that's awesome. It's so special to be able to carry her legacy with you in your music.
Yeah, and people who have never met her are hearing her voice, It's just strange, but it's really cool. She was really funny, and she didn't really care, I feel like, what other people thought. She just kind of did what she wanted to do. And I'm sad that I didn't get more time with her, but this tribute to her, that really, this is a very specific thing, and she never got to hear it, so it's just cool. So I'll definitely, I won't forget that.
Do you have any non-fabric pieces that you've brought with you today? Like anything that wouldn't be a fabric?
Yes.
Okay, I feel like I meant to hold on to one of those pieces.
Okay.
So could we maybe get it up? Yeah.
I'll give it to you this way.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. All right. Tinkerbell. I don't know what that is.
What was it?
Got a Tinkerbell reference.
What?
Tinkerbell? 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 Keeps coming in. What does that mean? Tinkerbell? Tinkerbell?
That's so weird, sorry.
Okay. That's...
Definitely need one of these.
That's okay. Yeah.
The frame.
Yeah.
At the same time, I had oh, let me get myself together really quick.
Okay.
Woo.
It's a lot.
At the same time as I had in one of my rooms decorated everything Tinkerbell because I was obsessed with Disney.
Right.
That frame was one of the things I took from my room because that was when me and my family went through a really hard time and we lost that home.
Right.
And that's when I turned to who I consider my guardian angel to this day. I lost her when I was really young. And she was around the same age. And yeah, she was just always with me. Like still after she passed, she was with me. I could see her and I could feel her.
Right.
And it's so weird because that frame is one of the only things that I have from my room. That was Tinkerbell when I went through one of the hardest times of my life and my family's life so far.
There's a funny story about someone falling off of a roof or putting a... Does that make any sense?
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me?
My dad has fallen off of a roof more than times than I can count. Like he's a nightmare.
Oh my God.
Honestly. He's in the next room, so I can say that.
Right.
And we love Dad.
Yeah.
But he's fallen off of the roof.
Wow.
He came in and he fell in front of me and he said, call 911. And this is when I was young.
Right.
And but he fell off the roof again. So then I stopped feeling sorry for him. When Tyler said there's something about falling off of a roof, that was just so random. And the fact that it happened to my dad like multiple times, it was a kind of a joke in our house. At that moment, I knew it was 100% happening. I was like, oh my God, he's really doing it. You have the chills right now. He's really connecting. That is so crazy.
Yeah, it just came through, I heard it. And that's what I try to achieve in these readings, is bringing up details, the facts, the stories, the inside details that there's no way a person could know. And those really validate that our loved ones are with us, so that we know that Grandpa is okay. Because he comes through like, a very stoic is the way that I would describe this. But it's interesting because when he would express his love, he had his own way of doing it, and honestly, in the way that he did, it feels like it was more authentic and profound and sincere than if he would have been the type of grandpa who would have said, I love you 24/7.
Yeah, that's
because he showed his love through his actions.
Right.
And he feels like...
He was a tough guy,
For
a
sure.
little bit grumpy, but I was very close to him.
Right.
And he's the tough guy.
Right.
Like, very tough, and people didn't mess with him. We called him Sarge.
He was a teddy bear.
I somehow
Yeah.
got this big tough guy to let me comb his hair, and it's like, it made my life.
That's hilarious.
You know, I was a middle child, and so you're always fighting for the attention, and he gave me that attention, and then he left us, and I didn't get to say goodbye. When I lost my grandfather, I lost being special for a minute.
That your grandpa, he's completely at peace. And that though he passed abruptly, and no doubt, you know, he would have preferably passed away in a different way, he has peace and he has closure, and he knows that nothing else could have been done differently. So please know that he's still around.
I think that connecting with him today just made me realize, like, he's not gone, and I am still special, and he's still looking out for us, and he knows that we all love him. We didn't get to say goodbye, and we mourn him all the time.
I have a woman coming through, having me talk about her heart. And this is very clear in the way that this comes through. She's very insistent to acknowledge, no matter how I died, I need them to know the heart. I need them to know the heart. And there's a feeling of having a susceptibility to a heart arrhythmia, and also having a susceptibility just to a heart issue. But I can distinctly tell there are other aspects to this passing. Have there been recent discussions about an individual having like a heart thing? Have people said someone had a heart condition?
My ex-wife.
Okay, this feels heavy.
Oh boy. She used drugs, but the way she passed was not a way that I would have I can accept that she passed.
Wow. The way this comes through, and I'm going to handle this sensitively, the feeling that comes across is that if someone may have used substances to some extent throughout their life, the feeling is that I know that when I utilize these substances, I'm not going over the amount that I would know to normally take. Just because the amount that she would have used, she'd done before. And so the feeling is like, it didn't kill me then, why would it kill me now? Unless there's something wrong with my ability to kind of process or metabolize them.
When he brought up the heart situation, it made some sense. He was bringing forth my ex-wife, and I mean, I don't think he knew that it was my ex-wife that was communicating to him.
This woman was here and she transitioned another woman who passed away. She is connecting hands with what looks like a child. And she's coming through and she wants everybody to know that she helped her little girl when her little girl transitioned.
It's
and it doesn't.
My ex-wife and my daughter.
Oh, God, okay. She's having me refer to a reference of remarriage. She's having me acknowledge a thumbs up, which references to getting married and being approving of the person we're with. And I feel like this would be her way of acknowledging this sense of happiness that you've been able to move on.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's a lot.
You're amazing.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. I mean, they are connected to you by the love that you have for them and that they have for you.
Oh. My ex-wife was Whitney Houston.
I gathered after seeing that picture.
Oh, really?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't realize that the person I was bringing through was Bobby Christina Brown and Whitney Houston. I am in complete shock. Wow.
Yeah. Whitney Houston Brown.
Right? For me, it's not like the Sixth Sense, so I don't see these people's faces oftentimes. I just kind of communicate the message. To me, they're just a soul. It's very humanizing, and I think actually a really beautiful thing that when they come through, she doesn't come through as Whitney Houston. She comes through as your former wife, and so much more than just what people thought of her as.